Okay, we got it. Got him. It took a little bit of time. The webcamera wasn't quite working, so I'm going to bring my trusty speaker. There we go. All right. So hopefully everybody's having a good night. Everybody's having a good time. We're going to get going in just a couple of seconds here. Just doing the last little roundabout. I see that people are here early, which I love to see. I'm a very punctual guy myself most of the time when things are going smoothly. So I love the fact that people are here. People are chatting away there. I haven't had a chance to check out the chat in a little bit, so bear with me as I put the final touches on this room and we get cozy. So hopefully everybody's having a good night. Everybody's having a good time. I know I am. So I'll keep an eye on the chat there for everybody. So here's the moneymaker. Here's the face. Yeah, how's everybody doing? Also, as I always like to do within these things, let me know if the audio ranges are off at any point. If it's too loud, too soft, if I need to talk louder or softer or whatever. Okay. I'm going to have a quick check to see the... what is this happening? You know, they got this whole beta studio lounge thing here in YouTube land, and it's just... I don't want to say it's the worst, because that's not quite right. It's so unworkable. I don't want to go into, and I don't want to watch a video about it.
In this video, I'll
No,
show you how to set
I don't
up
care.
and manage live streams.
Shush, I'm already live streaming. You don't have to tell me about that. Just, no, that's not what I wanted either. Deep breaths. It's going to be okay. Ooh, I could just push cancel. What happens if I push cancel? It just explodes. That's it. That's not what I want either. Okay. Well, that's not what I want at all. Okay. Where do I go to get... I'm sure this is riveting. Riveting. No, that's not it either. Oh, hey. Nope. Now it's like an Inception thing where it's in upon itself, in upon itself. Again, I know that this is just complete riveting items here. No, stop doing that. Honestly. All I want to do is I want to see the chat, but it's not letting me see the chat because it is being mean for whatever reason. Oh well, we'll figure this out together. Okay, here we go. Now, let's try from the beginning. Yeah. Also, if everybody wants to give this a big old thumbs up, that would be awesome. Because of the YouTube algorithm. Okay, so I'm going to skip that. Not even going to look at that. We're going to go straight into the dashboard. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. That's beautiful. Again, I know that I'm creating just the best of this kind of information. Okay. Soon, hopefully, I'll be able to see the chat. Hey, there it is! Alright, beautiful. Okay. Now, let's see here. There's a heck of a lot of stuff going on here. I've also set up that whole super chat thing. So, if you want to do that whole super chat thing, you can always donate. I think I have it up working properly now, I hope. We're going to see. I also don't know if that's what's going to work, because I know whenever I do these live stream things, it always gets pinged as not being monetized, so we'll see how that works. And I think this is a very good opportunity for me to do what I always do within this, and thank my patrons. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I want to thank all of my patrons. So thank you to every single one of my patrons. Matthew, Aiden, Andreas, Isaac, and Isaac, I know I need to change that spelling of your name. I'll get to that eventually. Or Spinobi. Jeffrey, Rick, Kevin, Ted, Bryson, Hemulin, Chris, Joggin, GRV Rush 2112, Joseph, Charles, Brian, Mark, and again, I'm going to pump Mark's album. Mark Foy, go check out his album on Spotify. It is under The Lonely Swing under Mark Foy. Go check that out. Brian and Kevin. And today we are honoring the one and the only amazing Axel. Axel, I apologize full-heartedly. I realized that I hadn't included you in my Patreon shout-out for the past couple of months. Now, Axel has donated to me back in the summertime, and I didn't put him on here because I'm an idiot. So I'm going to put him right up there with Matthew, Aiden, and Andreas just as a little bit of a sorry. So moving forward, his name will be up there. And he's also getting this live stream this evening. And I know that we're all super, super excited about that. So, oh, Vess, you're not on my screen. Oh, Jews. Shoot. Okay, Vess. Let's see here. Somebody had said that he is... okay, the chat is gone because I don't think it is up to speed. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Okay. Sorry, I thought somebody said that. Oh, yeah. Still not a patron and I'm not still on the screen. Okay. Vested Aqua, please send me an email right now about that. Austin, by the way. Austin. You're not on the screen there, Austin? Okay. Send me an email, and I'll be sure to rectify that. I don't know what happened. Probably along the same lines that Axel had. Because Axel wasn't on here as well. And I only realized that this afternoon as I was putting together a live stream. So I apologize. Give me an email. It's in the description. Because, yeah, that should be rectified ASAP. And if you do that quick enough, I might be able to get it into the ending screen as well. Okay. So, yeah, if you guys want to donate, you will hopefully be on the big wall of thank yous as well. So, yeah. That'll be great. Okay. So yeah, as I said, if you donate, you get on the screen. Hopefully. Apologies again to my main man there, Austin, for not putting that up sooner. I'll make it up to you, Austin, in some way. Don't worry. We'll be in talk about how we can rectify that. And yeah, you'll get the live stream like this, or depending on what you donate, you'll also get album reviews, which I hope to spend the month of November getting out. And yeah. I think that's enough of me yammering on. I think I've yammered enough for enough. It looks like I've been yammering on for almost about 8 minutes, and we want to listen to what we want to listen to. That's what we're here for. So I'm going to take that down. Again, thank you, Axel. This is yours. So we're going to get into it. Okay, once I bring up the iPad that my speaker is connected to. And it looks like somebody donated. Thank you so much. Is it NOK? Knock? I don't know what... I think that's actually the amount there. Just saying that there's a donation. Hope it stays awesome and continues to make great content. Well, I hope to do that too, bud. So we're going to keep that up there for you. That's it's not Endzone. It's Monty. I'm going to call you Monty. I'm so sorry. Monty117. Thank you so much there. I'm going to leave that up there for everybody to see so that they can be cool like that as well. Okay, so that's enough about all that. Again, thank you so much to everybody for doing that. Is so cool. Okay, so we're going to start off by listening to my favorite Porcupine Tree album. For those of you that haven't seen my, it'd help if I spell it rightly, Porcupine. For those of you that have seen my Porcupine Tree Worst to Best, they made #1 in my #1 spot. And I'm only now just realizing that they don't have this album on Spotify. This is why you prepare. Okay, I think I still have that in my CD collection. So, I think, actually, you know what? No, I have an even better idea. Okay, who's with me with this? Who's with me with this? It's not on Spotify, but I have a better idea. I'm going to move this back a little bit. We are going to do this old school style ways. I'm going to unplug my microphone. You guys are going to keep me updated about how the sound is. We are doing this on the fly. All right. Never before done. I'm going to listen to it on vinyl. Ugh. You also get to see me in my pajama pants. Okay. There we go. This also means that there's a little bit of a different track length as well. Different track items on here. It goes to Fear of a Blank Planet, Cheating the Polygraph, My Ashes. We've got Anesthesia Eyes. Then it goes Sentimental, Way Out of Here, Sleep Together. And we're going to go to Neil Recurring, Normal, and What Happens Now. We're doing the whole kit and caboodle here. I'm going to turn on my... because my speakers are directly above me. So, we are going to do this. Ugh. This is why you always prepare beforehand. Alright. I'm going to listen to this the old-fashioned way. Okay. I'm going to put a pause to this then. Where did I put that? I'm going to turn this off. Gonna make sure that's paused. And we're gonna get going. Okay. And this is a very interesting live stream, eh? There we go. And so I don't have to come up and down and all around. Actually, you know what? I will keep. There we go. Alright. There we go. We're back. So we're going to turn that up a little bit so that my neighbors can enjoy it just as much as I can. Alright. Let's see how that sounds. Okay. You can still hear that. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit more. There we go. Alright. So we are going to listen to this on vinyl this time around. It's going to be very interesting. Okay, so first up, I'm actually going to bring my record over. There we go. So yeah, Fear of a Blank Planet, title track. Ta-da! Music's a bit quiet. Okay, turn that up. How's that? Turn it a bit louder. I don't want to turn it too much louder, because at the same time, I don't want to annoy my upstairs neighbors. That's always... that sounds good. Okay. Hopefully that should be good. I also don't want to get pinged for, you know, the whole copyright stuff as well. Alright, so now I can actually talk to you guys and have a little bit of a conversation. Because I do love this album. As I said, this is my favorite Porcupine Tree album. I love what the band was doing at the time. I think that they were at their tightest. And damn, does this sound good. The album to my right. That one? That one right there? Yeah, it's really good. It's the, you can turn your own volumes up as well. Oh, that's true. Yeah. So I am going to turn it down just a hair, because it is rather loud in my apartment, and I do live in a basement, so the people above me. Just make sure. Still good? Yeah, because I do want to make sure that you guys can hear where we are in the album. Because if you do, you can always put the album on yourself, if you have it, and listening to it. Oh, Black Dog Jogger. This is the first time listening to the album. You're in for a treat. I will talk about it as we go into it as well. I do find that in terms of riffage, it is a little bit on the repetitive side, but when a riff is so good, I don't mind, because it really allows us to get into the album proper. You know, it really gets us introduced to the riff and the chord structure and the chord sequence as well. I mean, most music is repetitive, but when you compare it to other Steven Wilson and Porcupine Tree outfits, I do find that this one, especially for the bigger tracks, they do tend to kind of repeat themselves a little bit. So yeah, if this is your first time, you are in for a treat, because this is my favorite Porcupine Tree album. So yeah. Yeah, and I think there's a couple of really good guest stars on this album as well. Like, let's see here. Usually it lists the peeps that are on here. So together, no way out of here. Where's the crew? I want to see the crew. Fear of a Blank Planet. Did I switch those around? I think I did. Yeah, because that's the first record. And then it looks like I pulled it out of the... Yeah, I know Alex Lifeson is on this album. And I think Robert Fripp makes an appearance? I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just thinking of when Steven was talking to Robert Fripp about this, because he likes to name drop a lot. So I'm just kind of organizing my album, because I do see that the jackets don't align with the records. So I'm just doing a little bit of a rework in there. Ah, here we go. It's all in the back. Yeah, Robert Fripp, Soundscapes on Way Out of Here, lead guitar on Neil Recurring. I thought so. John Wellesley, of course, he's on here. I'm surprised they didn't just, like, make him, like a part of the band by the end there. But, you know, anyway, here's, like, a really, really fantastic guitar part. Again, a little bit on the repetitive side, but still really, really good. And then Ben Coleman does the electric violin on What Happens Now. Ah, so good. So friggin' good. Let's see here. I'm just having a quick... It's on YouTube. Yeah, I had a feeling that the whole thing was on YouTube. And I'm surprised that they didn't get it. Eckelfelt is not on this. No. I'm trying to think of if he was ever on a Porcupine Tree album. I know Steven Wilson was on a couple Opeth albums, but he wasn't there. Yeah. In terms of where this album is, I mean, for the longest time you had to purchase. Somebody is saying that it's on Soulseek. Yeah. I mean, you can find pretty much anything on Soulseek. From my understanding, I don't really use it. Yeah, I repeat myself when I'm under stress. Oh, man. So yeah, this first song comes out swinging hard. Very, very hard. And I like the fact that now we're starting to wind down a little bit for how loud and how heavy it was from the very beginning. So we're getting into a little bit of a play out right now. And it's very on the mellow side. And My Ashes, which is one of my favorite tracks off of this whole album, is going to be extremely mellow and docile is a good way to call it. Very docile. So yeah. So yeah, we're coming into the second track of My Ashes, which we'll really, really enjoy. Did he write the opening riff of Blackest Eye? I wouldn't be surprised. It does sound kind of like his, but yeah. What is your favorite album of the decade so far? That's a good question, because there have been a lot of really, really good albums this decade. I've been thinking about that, actually, because I want to put together a like a best of the 2010s, like the teens. I also love, just coming back to this album, I love the piano sound. Like that kind of wavery thing that, you know, it almost sounds like the waves aren't sure of themselves, almost like an electric piano. I love that. And then it's blended very well with the traditional piano. So the two are kind of going back and forth. It's one of my favorite Porcupine Tree songs for that. It's also very subtle, too. Like, even though when they play it live, what's his face? The other chap there, John Wellesley. When John Wellesley sings it, he's got such that haunting voice on it. It's not quite as... like, Stephen has a very clean and crisp voice. Like, when you listen to Stephen, he has got, like, this very controlled and very polished voice. But John has much more... Again, I want to make sure that I'm saying that it's right. I think it's John. Yeah, this part here. Because when he sings it, when John sings it, it's much more of a rocker tone. He's got a little bit more of a gruff to it. And so when he sings it, it's a little bit more intimate. It's a little bit more personal in that sense. Where this is feeling, it's a little too impersonal. Like there's not a whole lot of extra emotion going on. Like he's just hitting the notes and that's about it. There's no, I don't know. I don't want to say there's no personality because that's not the right term. But when John sings it, there's definitely this personality because there's almost like he strains to hit the note. I tried to say note and point, and so it just became noit. Also, I'm so sorry that my sound capturing doesn't really qualify and hit the same frequencies. Because once that bass comes in, it's so warm. And that's just the brilliance of vinyl and why I love vinyl. Anyway, yeah, I love when John sings that chorus part because it's a little bit more gruff, and it's a very good counter to Stephen's part. Now I'm seeing the chat is just exploding, and I'm loving it. I'm keeping my eye on it in case a question does pop up, because I am still trying to think a little bit about the best album of the decade, because that's a heavy ask. It's a very heavy ask. So there's been some really standout moments. I almost want to say like Aquarius from Haken, just because it started off and really transformed the current progressive metal scene in terms of like a very important album. Same with Raven, but I feel like Raven from Steven Wilson, I don't know if it's as important. I feel like it's a little bit of its own little island. Because it already came from an established artist, you know what I mean? So I'm going to keep thinking about it. I'm going to keep thinking about it as to like what my favorite one was. I'm not going to try that note. That's way up there. Yeah, I'm going to keep thinking about that as to like this decade's. Oh, I'm going to remind people that if you swear, it hides it. So I'm going to share this one from Miguel? Yeah, Andy, I'm going to actually see that tour as well, where Haken is touring with Devin Townsend and the Contortionist. Very excited for that one. I think that's going to be the first concert of 2020, and I can't think of a better way to open it up. So normally in the runtime, we'd go straight into Anesthesize, but because we're listening to the vinyl, it's going into Cheating the Polygraph, which I think is actually a really good blend. Because I feel like this and Nil Recurring, the EP that they put out, blend very well together, and it also creates a full-length album. So I feel like going right into Cheating the Polygraph actually works, even though it does disrupt the original runtime a little bit. But I feel like Cheating the Polygraph works pretty well within this. Oh, there's a little... I think this was the single that they actually led from that. And man, Gavin Harrison's... drumming on this, like I keep forgetting that yeah, I always want to say it's Harris, but it's Harrison, Gavin Harrison. So if I don't in my teeth again, they also use like a little bit of the ideas and the themes from the overall Fear of a Blank Planet in Nil Recurring. So the fact that it blends together, it does. Does the vinyl have What Happens Now? It does. Yeah, it has both the Nil Recurring stuff as well as the full album itself. And Alex Lifeson is on this one. He's on Anesthesia Eyes. And, looks like Travis already beat me to the punch a little bit. So yeah. I actually really dig this track. I really love all the sessions from Nil Recurring. And I love the fact that on the vinyl of Fear of a Black Planet, it actually keeps it there. So, yeah. And I love how it starts off pretty mellow in relation to the rest of the song. And then right about coming up, it just kind of like explodes, like here. I love this little bit of guitar work here. Or it's almost like a reminisce of what Stephen was doing way back in the early days, where it was very, very David Gilmour-ish. Are you getting the new King Crimson vinyls that just came out? I might. I think the only one that I'm super excited for in that is Power to Believe. I never actually got around to listen to Thark or Vroom or that other one that they did, The Construction of Light. But I love the Power to Believe. I really, really do. I come back to that once a year at least. So I might pick that one up on vinyl. I mean, there is a part of me that's like the completionist in me that I want to get all of them. But I don't know, if I'm not gonna like really listen to them, then kind of what's the point? Somebody's asking who my favorite guitarist is. Geo616 or yeah, 616. Who is my favorite guitarist? That's a good question. Okay, guys, I don't want to piss off the upstairs neighbors too much, so I'm gonna turn it down just a hair. Put in the other. Okay, so it's still pretty audible. That's good. Who is my favorite guitarist? That's really, I mean, is it a cop-out to say that it's Devin Townsend? I don't think it is, because he is genuinely, like, he's the only guitarist outside of, like, Petrucci or Satriani that, or even, like, El DeMiello, that, like, it brings it down to earth, almost. Like, those guys are almost robotic in their playing styles of, like, okay, I'm never going to be able to touch it, even though I don't really play guitar, but it's, like, so otherworldly. Whereas Devin, even though he does have those otherworldly, like, balls-to-the-wall insane moments, he also is able to blend the riffing with the chord structures, you know? Like, it takes some crazy part of your brain to go from a beautiful harmony guitar piece right into the riffage. So yeah, I'd probably say, probably Devin Townsend. Because I love when he, like, especially for like Deep Peace and Kai, those soundscapes that he's able to do. The only other person that I can think of that's close is like Gilbert. I won't say Gilbert Gottfried. No, Guthrie. Gilbert Guthrie. Is that his first name? Gilbert? I don't think that's his first name. anyway, his work with Stephen Wilson, especially from The Raven That Refused to Sing, as well as on Regret Number 9 and Home Invasion. Whew, that's hard. That's hard. Guthrie Govan. That's it. Okay, here we go. I love that. I love that within the song where it goes from that soundscapey, mellow aspect to that really punctual, like, heavy part. And I love that sound that the guitars are able to capture within that. So good. So yeah, those are some of the big heavy hitters in terms of guitar work for me. Yeah. Oh, right. So for those that came in late, I realized that Spotify doesn't have this album on it, so we are actually listening to my vinyl of the album, and so the vinyl incorporates Nil Recurring into the album. So Cheating the Polygraph is actually the third track on the album. And because we're listening to it on vinyl, I have to actually get up and flip the album now. So you guys get to see me in my pajamas. So I'm going to do that now. So now we're going to get into the big 17-minute epic of Anesthesia Eyes. Here we go. Put that at the beginning. There we go. And that drum work that starts it all off. I love it. I love that drum work. I mean, this is why, again, I need to reacquaint myself. This is why Gavin Harrison is one of my favorite drummers, because his mastery of this is just great. Hey, our future... Oh, yeah, so, Serbian Hammer is asking if the streams are going to be earlier like this one. Probably not. This one is earlier just because I have an early morning tomorrow, and I'm really tired. So I want to get this one out early. Most of them will still be at 9 Eastern Standard Time. I wanted a little bit of time because I need to put the last final touches on the video that I'm going to be uploading tomorrow. And before anybody asks, no, unfortunately, it's not going to be Leprous'. I have a really interesting idea for my Leprous album review. So it might actually come up a little bit late. I'm sorry, but I have an idea with it, and I can't say no once I get this creative idea. I love this song. I keep forgetting how much I love this song. So yeah, tomorrow's video will be going up regular schedule. I just need to finish editing and put that up. And then I've got Leprous, I've got District 97, I've got The Swans, I've got Baby Metal. So those 4 album reviews are coming up in the next couple of weeks. And then I need to plow through some of the Patreon album stuff. So, yeah. And in the meantime, we get to listen to one of the best songs ever written. Just where the song goes, too. Like that rhythm section, just gets in your skin, right? Gets in your skin. I'm gonna show Travis's, because there's I feel like Captain America from Age of Ultron. Language, people, language, because it always is held whenever it finds a. So that's all right. Sorry. So here, I love the soundscapes on this too. Like every time I listen to it, I get something new. Like there's a lot of sound going on, and it feels like there's so much like signal the noise going on. Oh, it's haunting. It's just so good. Alright, here we go. I love this guitar work that's coming up. Alright, we're gonna headbang together. Here we go, here we go, here we go. I've yet to realize if that's actually a guitar that's playing or if it's actually like some kind of a soundscape on the keyboards. I wouldn't be surprised if it was either or. I remember I took my dad and my best friend to see Porcupine Tree when they came to Toronto, and it was during their Incident tour, and they just played the midsection of this song. And I remember when it came out, both my buddy and my dad were like, holy... Like, I could just see their eyes, like, slowly widening, like, what is this? I love this guitar work. I mean, you don't necessarily need to shred all the time to really emote out, and I think Gilmour, like David Gilmour, has shown us that. Like, this is so clean and crisp. It's not shredding like 1,000 notes all at once. Sometimes it's just that one note that hits. Yeah, this is the Alex Lifeson solo. And we're coming into the heavier part, the meaty part. And it's really cool because I'm going to actually position, I'm going to see if I can bring this up here. Okay, I'm going to position the webcam. So there's the speakers. 1 and 2. So right now, as I'm listening to it, I'm hearing... So it's just like, wow. If only you guys could hear it. I love this part. It's coming into... I love the fact that they really stay in this moment for a bit. Like, really get into it. Like, it's almost like it's churning the butter. I don't know if that's a really good metaphor, but it's churning that butter. So that when we come into this part... Oh, God. It's like a gut to the punch. I know what I said. Oh, and I love that surrounding sound that's really keeping the bottom of this. Like the bottom of this song just goes on forever. It's like Turtles all the way down. And I love the fact that Steven's vocals are so, like, haunted. Like, he's like, I don't even know if I'm here. And that's the whole point, right? And we haven't even gotten to like the meatiest section. Like that's what I can't get over. Like how impossibly meaty this song is. Like even right here in this moment, it's still really, really meaty. But we haven't even gotten to like the like screw your head around moment. And I love that like electronic beat that's flying around. It's like a fly. Pyramid Head, it's okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. You've come in before the big moment. We're coming to a pretty intense point. Oh, it's so passing out. I always want to say it's so. Here we go. Here we go. We haven't even, again, I can't wait until we get to that meaty part. Like, I remember when I listened to that, like, this moment for the first time. It was in my first apartment after moving out. Not a great time, but, yeah, it just, like, terrified me in the best kind of way. Because at this point, I'm like, okay. Because I didn't know how long the song was, right? I had it on CD. I wasn't keeping track of the track length, and I didn't even look. I just put it on. So I figured, okay, it's starting to wind itself down. I think we figured out where we're going. I think everything's kind of winding itself down. And then they just keep going. Like, even in these, like, bridge moments, it's still friggin' amazing. Like, I'm loving the soundscape that, what's his face? The keyboardist dude. I should know this. Richard Barbieri is really playing around with. So yeah, I remember sitting there being like, okay, this is pretty dope. This is pretty damn dope. Here it comes. And I was like, okay, so it's winding itself down. It's probably going to end. All right. And then we get this. And that drumming. Oh, that drumming. Oh, jeez. Man, how we can maintain that is just beyond words. I don't know if Porcupine Tree ever got heavier than that. I mean, there are moments on the incident that kind of get to that point, but didn't quite. Yeah. It's just so deep. And then we come down into one of the like more subtle and smaller moments on the album with this play out. And I remember watching it live where they have basically just like waves coming in. And that's kind of what it is. It's just like being swept out onto the wave after this storm, after this maelstrom. Ugh. We got like that guitar work that's kind of leading us through like a lighthouse. Like this is taking us back to those early days. You know, similar to like kind of like Up the Downstairs or The Sky Moves Sideways. And those harmonizations of the vocals. Yeah, people are talking about The Incident. The Incident was an interesting album. Very interesting album. Not their worst, but by no means their best. And a very strange follow-up to Fear of a Blank Planet. I think they really need to stick the landing, because I feel like Steven Wilson has a hard time writing concept albums. Everything about this track right now. Like the Fender Rhodes that you can hear in the background there. Oh, I see that Lucas has made that comment too. Yeah. Like you would think like the Rhodes are like a very subtle instrument, but it only like pierces through the clouds. I was counting out the waves, and I followed the short line. Yeah, and oddly enough, The Incident is one of the few albums that I don't have on vinyl from Porcupine Tree. I think the only other album that I don't have from them... I think that might be it, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah. I think that might be the only one that I'm missing. Which is strange, because it works well as a record, but not so much as like a CD. Yes, this album is a concept album for sure. Okay, so it looks like we got a couple streams on here. So yes, this album is more of a concept album in the vein of like Animals from Pink Floyd, in that each song is based around the same kind of concept. But whenever he comes into like a linear story, he has a hard time sticking the landing. But we are listening to Porcupine Tree's Fear of a Blank Planet, one of like my favorite Porcupine Tree album. Oh, this is great. I'm loving this. Like, this was a perfect way to end such a Goliath of a track. I mean, in some ways, this is 3 songs kind of stacked over top of one another, but I still figure it as one track, as one piece, with 3 movements. Hey, General Spinobi, welcome, Isaac. Going well, listen to my favorite Porcupine Tree album. Yeah, this album is focused on our isolation from each other based on technology, and reverting to technology to do so, and different ways that we retreat. So in certain ways it does focus around the stages of grief, but I think it's more about ways that we, especially youth, oh, that's right, this one's got a little bit of a skip here. Alright, so it's time to flip the album, because this album isn't on Spotify, so I have to listen to it on vinyl form. So I'm going to do that now. We're going to flip the album over. Flipping the album over. That's my phone going off. All right, let's see here. C, D. All right. Going into side C. And this one actually starts off with my favorite song off of this album. I know. But I actually love this next track. I love this track. Sentimental. My favorite track off of this album. And I know that's a hot take, as much as I love Anesthesia Eyes. There's something about this song that's just so beautifully haunting that I can't help but love it. And I love it almost sounds like it's a recording of the drums, but all that they did was they took out as much bass as they could and elevated the treble. Kind of like what Steven does a lot with singing, and it sounds like it's coming through a telephone. And I think he actually employs that in the first couple of verses in this track as well. But I love this. I wanna be old, and I don't want dependence. Ah. I don't wanna be told that you can't blame your parents anymore. I'm finding it hard to hang from a star. Don't wanna be, never wanna be old. I love those notes. Yeah, there's definitely a Trains reference. And even like Lazarus a little bit. Like, these are the Porcupine Tree slower moments, but I love this song. I love how haunting it is. And especially after the Goliath that we had from Anesthesia Eyes, this is the perfect, like, cool down after it. It's like stepping into a blissfully cool room after being in the blistering sun. I see what you did there, Pyramid Head. I see you. Yeah, I can't. I love this. Love this track. I also love, like, the idea of this track. Like, what is normal? What does it mean to be normal? If I'm not normal, then am I other? And what does that mean? And do I have to, like, flood myself with drugs to make myself normal? Is that normal? Especially when everybody does it? Yeah, Travis, I think that they've always kind of been around, like those teenage angst wanna die memes have, like, I mean, that was prevalent when I was in high school, and I think that's going to be prevalent whenever there's teenagers around. And I think memes are now just the way to convey that. I mean, I remember back in, heck, the 90s with The Simpsons, where there were the two teenagers at, like, was it Hullabaloo or Hullapalooza or something like that? And the one guy's like, oh yeah, they're cool. It's like, are you being sarcastic, man? I don't even know anymore. So yeah. This album was a Patreon request. Yes. And I want to thank everybody again when I finish off. Because yeah, there was a little bit of a mix-up, and they weren't actually in my screen thingy. And I also noticed that my phone buzzed while I was on there, just to make sure. Okay, good. Looks like Austin had reached out. Thank you so much, Austin. Really, really do appreciate that. I'm going to get back to you ASAP to... Actually, I think I can change that right now. I'm going to change that so that he is on there. Yes, okay, perfect. And I love this little bit of a play out. So while this is going on, I'm actually going to edit something really, really quickly. Hit him his way, which day? And I love the fact that when you listen to this song live, they actually hold on to those notes. Even after the album is done, they still have those, the lyrics continue on. And I love that little bit of soundscape that's going on here. It's very fun. Okay, so now we are coming into the second last track, and I believe the big single, which is Way Out of Here. This is what they used to promote the album, which is odd because this is probably my least favorite track off of the album. Not saying that it's a bad album or a bad track. I'm just like, compared to all the other tracks that we've had, it's my least favorite. Like, I still love this track, and I don't want to discredit that. It's just not my favorite. I do really like the playout that they have on it, though. Oh, we've got those trains again. You know how much Steven loves those trains. Okay, so let me make sure that I'm not missing anything. Yes, sorry, I was just a little preoccupied for a second. How many Patreon requests do I have left to go? That depends on what you're asking there, General Spinowi. If you're asking about albums, I got a lot. So I'm going to try to spend November in getting those done before the year's out. In terms of live streams, I think I only have 2. So the next couple of weeks I'll be caught up on those. Alioth Senator is asking if I'm into jazz fusion. I am. I still have my Return to Forever album there. Really, really enjoy those stuff. I also have The Romantic Warrior. That's probably my favorite one. Yes, I know Spinobi's asking the important questions. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I'm going to try to get as many of those out as I can. Or maybe a week. Putting everything. Yes, and I think this is the song, and I have a feeling I know where the guitar riff is, because it feels very much like a Robert Fripp thing. I thought the incident was on streaming services. Oh, I'll have to double check that. That's a shame, because I do like the incident. That's why. Okay, because yeah, the live albums that feature them practically in whole are on streaming services, but not the song itself. That kind of sucks. Yeah, I want to say it's this. that is the Fripp part. Like, I love this part. I keep stumbling over when it hits hard. There it is. Oh yeah, I have a Discord. Serbian is on it. Yeah, I got a Discord, so if people want to chat in the Discord, I think I've got... Do I have it on the social media? No, I don't. Better update that. But yeah, I've got it. I can throw in the link. Just gonna show that. I mean, that drumming though. Can we all appreciate that drumming? That drumming. I think the reason why I don't like this song as much as all the others is because it's sandwiched between my two favorite tracks, Sleep Together and Sentimental. Because man, Sleep Together is just like, there's no words, right? Like there's no words about Sleep Together. This is why I'm not doing it at 9, because I'd be asleep. And all you get is Michael or myself sleeping throughout the whole thing. Oh yeah, okay, here, I'm gonna grab the Discord. Because I know people wants to know. Discord. So anybody that wants to join the Discord can do so. Open Discord. Yeah, because this is a nice little play out. That's nice. Ooh, excuse me. Alright, I'm going to invite people, and I'm going to set this link to never expire. There we go. So I know that's what happened last time. There you go. So there's the Discord. Okay. Now we're coming into one of the most perfect songs. I love that sound. I love how it sounds like it's starting up. Ugh. And I remember when I saw them live, like it was Porcupine Tree proper, when I saw them live, I was very disappointed that they didn't play this song because this was when they were touring The Incident. But when I went to see Steven Wilson, the last time or the time before then, he played this track. And I nearly wept. Like, it was very emotional for me. Oh, well, you should watch my worst to best of the Mars Volta, and you'll find out exactly what my thoughts about Mars Volta are. I mean, the fact that I did a worst to best of them tells you that I do enjoy them. Really, really great song. You know, Lucas, I could see that. This song does have elements of Silverchair in it. Like, especially Anthem for the Year 2000. Like that dark, haunting aspect of it. Yeah. I never thought about it that way, but it definitely has that. And then the way that it, like, builds up itself. Good call. Good poll. Really good. I applaud that. Alright, here we go. No, I've only had a couple memes made about me. But yeah, that's pretty funny. I love the synthesized violins on this track. That's what makes this song. And that bass line, Lucifer Sam has definitely hit it on the head with it is a thick bass line. Like it's juicy. It's a juicy bass line. I love like the sounds in the background on this. Yeah, this was a wee bit on the popular side. I think it actually won Prog Archive's Album of the Year in 2007. And the thing that I love about this one is the playout. They don't just leave it alone. And that's what I love. Nothing bothers me more than a song that stops too soon. And this is not a cover song. This is a fully, at least in my knowledge, I believe this is an original piece. And I love this point. And I love how each layer is just built upon one another. I know I should probably be talking over this just for monetization points, but yeah, that's probably not going to happen. I already recognize the fact that yeah. And General Spinobi, yeah, I just received it, so I'll get back to you after this. Don't you worry. Excuse me. There goes that bass line again. And I love again those soundscapes. I do not know. Serbian is asking about what I think of. Oh wait, I love those strings. Whenever I hear it play live, it's always like subdued a little bit because they're waiting for that final punch to be the guitar work. But I feel like it's the 1-2 punch. This is the first punch, and I feel like holding back that punch does the song a little bit of a disservice. And here we go. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, bam. And General Spinobi, that's a pretty easy one. That's Fear of a Blank Planet. As much as I love Frames, I've had more time with Fear of a Blank Planet. that play out though. And then a little bit of drum work. Now, we have another side to get to. And normally, this is where the song or the album ends. But because we're listening to it on vinyl, I think we can go into the next round. Are we ready to hear Neil Recurring and the 3 tracks that we hadn't listened to from that album? Because there are 4 tracks. We listened to, what was that? Cheating the Polygraph on side 1. So now we're going to listen to Neil Recurring, Normal, and What Happens Now. So hopefully you guys are in for a treat. We're going to flip the record. For the final 3 songs. There we go. I love how odd and quirky this track starts off with Neil Recurring. I believe this one, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this one is a fully instrumental track. Yeah, because there's no liner notes for it. It just is. Alright. Normal is one of my favorite Porcupine songs. Oh, the way that you had said it was. So this comes from the vinyl. Yes, so for anybody that's joined us late, we're listening to the vinyl because the streamable platform of Spotify does not currently have Fear of a Blank Planet. So we are listening to it on vinyl. So, yeah, that's what we're doing tonight. And actually, I'm really digging the sound of this. There's a lot more warmth and a lot more depth to it. So, yeah. Just the way that starts off, too. Like, jeez. Again, I love like the layering that this has. Oh, does Dweezer have it? Good for Dweezer. Yeah, so I use Spotify. It was just... I used to actually, way back in the day, I used to use Groove Shark, which was totally illegal, by the way. So when Groove Shark went under, the only other one that was around at the time was Spotify, so I jumped to Spotify. Really, the title track isn't available in your country. That sucks. Because title track, I mean, how can you listen to it outside of it? Yes, this track definitely has, like, the genesis of the incident on it, for sure. And I love the drop that this track has after we get from this, like, not necessarily like no man's land, but this little bit of a bridge that we have. I love the little drop that we have within it. I love that little bit of a, it's very haunting in a very like real sense, you know? Here it comes, here it comes. This reminds me of like Mellotron Scratch. Like, I love that time signature that we have going on here. There's like 2 or 3 of them going on. Gavin keeping all this in his head while he's trying to keep that time. It's just a swirly maelstrom. And now we're coming into the play out. That drumming work. Man, the layering on this song is outstanding, and hearing it on vinyl is like, I'm actually able to like pinpoint and dissect each one really, really well. I love No Recurring, and I love the fact that they were able to bleed it into this album. Like that guitar work right there, that feels very much like her Fripp moment. Yeah, I agree to you, the Raven effect. As much as I love Time Flies, it is a little on the long side. Excuse me. That's a great track. A little bit of an ending. Alright, so now... Oh, I love that. That little slide. That little slide in there. That's a fun little slide. Here we go. And then we come into the song proper. A little bit of a tease. And I think this this track actually uses excerpts and themes from Sentimental. Oh, excuse me. Man, that picking style. It's very hypnotic. Again, some of the themes from Sentimental are starting to bleed in. I love this. Bottom. That bottom. It's supple. It's a supple bottom. It's a great blending of like these heavenly guitar works with that oomph. And I agree. What Happens Now is probably my favorite and best track off of No Recurring. And we're going to get to that soon. Don't worry. We're going to get to that soon. I always thought that Nil Recurring would have been great as a standalone album if What Happens Now blended into like a good 17 minutes. You know, kind of like how Anesthesia Eyes blossomed. Because you would have had a great, like the first 3 tracks and then right into What Happens Now. Ugh. What could have been? I mean, they wouldn't have done it anyway. But that's my kind of thought. Kind of like as a Fear of a Blake Planet Part 2. And there we have the sentimental. I think that's sentimental, isn't it? No, I think that's... Is it my ashes? No, that's Stone in the Mall, right? Stone in the Mall, the kids play. And in this way, which day. Now I gotta check. I always wanted to say it was sentimental, but I think it actually might be... No, I'm pretty sure that is sentimental. Yep. See, Stone in the... Yeah, okay, that's what I figured. Stone in the mall, the kids play. And in this way, they sway. Wish I was old and a little sentimental. You gotta see the waves, not the wine bottles. Yeah. Oh no, I definitely understand. So for Blackwater Rust, where he's saying nothing against sentimental, but normal is one of my all-time favorite tracks. Yep, I definitely see that and don't begrudge at all. I can see how this one would bring it over. Yeah, and here we come to the heavy part. It's coming up. It's coming up. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, I love that part. Love that part. And I love these blending of harmonies. It's almost like a round. Yeah, this kind of reminds me of Mellotron Scratch, where they have like the cascading vocals. Excuse me. Oh, I'm gonna have to go to bed after this. Oh, and there's that Rhodes again. It was hiding, but it poked its head out just a little to be like, no. Saying, do I play any instruments? I do. Mainly I'm keeping it to the oh, here it comes. At the moment I'm keeping it to the ukulele because that's the only instrument I have time for at the moment. Yeah. ASMR. Yeah, no, that's not why we come here. Although I could start doing this, you know, getting really close and being all intimate, but no. That's not why we came out here. We're listening to some tunes. Tunes are enough ASMR for me. Alright, we're coming into the last track off the entire album. Love this piece. Love this piece. What Happens Now? Yeah. And it starts off with a little bit of the sounds. And then we come into that drum work, which I think are echoed. Because it sounds like it's a dual. I love that drum work. I love this track. Fear of a Sleepy Planet for sure. I mean, this track in itself is like rocking me to sleep. I mean, it won't for a while, or after a while. Those are all keyboards. Interesting. So I got all these things. But so what? In the end, you can't take them with you. You think you can save my soul? Well, okay. Tell me. With all your conviction, what happens now? No, this one is What Happens Now. This is the final track off of Neil Recurring. The EP they put out, but they bundled it together in the vinyl version. Am I into metalcore, black, or death metal? Yeah, I dip my toe into them every once in a while. I love that little bit of a distortion they put on the voice there. Like, really made it loud. Aw, that sucks, Travis. I'm sorry. Thumbs down. And this is actually where they sample Anesthesize, or however you guys want me to pronounce it. I'm pronouncing it that way. And I feel like they do a really great job of sampling that. Or at least, can I say sampling if they wrote it at about the same time? I think so. I can't say, because I don't really have a favorite death album, because I haven't actually listened to them. It's my phone. Separate chat going on. I love the groove of this. And they've expanded a little bit on the soundscape within the Anesthesize. I like where they go from this point, like the little bit of a bridge between those two moments, this one and the next one. And they introduce the main theme that they're going to be playing throughout the rest of this track, right here. That guitar work. It's such a great construction of music that we have on this. Oh yeah, don't try to show the pronunciation of Anesthesize. I actually have like a list of people trying to do that, and with accents and with all these different things. I have like 15 different ways to pronounce it. So yeah, this part right here is what I was talking about. The bridge between the two moments. I love this little like interlude that we have, because this isn't in Anesthesize. And then we just like go head first into I'm going to move my phone because it keeps buzzing and I don't want it to buzz. Here we go. And I love the fact that they kept that same little... trying to sync my hands up to it. Here we go. I love that they keep that going on. And there's the drumming style that's in the odd time signature. That's kind of counter to everything that's going on. And this is what I love, because it makes sense once they bring the track back around. Because right now you're like, well, that doesn't really match up with the music all that much. I love that. I love when they do this. Right? Because it almost sounds like he's on the off beat. And I mean, he is. and it still seems off. There's still, it's the bass line is still following the old time signature. Here we go, here we go, here we go. So this whole sequence just churns and churns, and it's almost like a slingshot that's being pulled further back. You have that tension, and so you finally have that release, and you're just flying. Here we go. Here we go. There it is. That release. And they're just able to let it, like, oof. And it provides the perfect framework for this play out of this guitar work. This play out, they don't waste it either. They really stay in here. All right. And there you have it, folks. The vinyl edition of Fear of a Bleak Planet. I wasn't expecting to do that, but, you know, that's what you do. So, I'm just going to let that play out. I'm going to bring up the needle, and we'll play us out. So, I'm going to use the vinyl one more time. I'll put it back to... Ugh. There we go. There we go. Alright, I'll put that there. And I'll cue this up just as a little farewell. Fare thee well. Start up the old. And I'll bring it back to... There we go. Just as a final so long. So yeah. Thank you everybody for coming out. I had some technical difficulties at the very beginning there, but I'm glad everything kind of smoothed itself back around and everything was fine. Yeah, I'm going to switch it back and just thank all my patrons. And I actually was able to get Austin on here. So Austin, you're on here. I was able to put you on there. You're on that first row. I'll keep you on that first row, and I'm going to put Axel on that first row as well. So I want to thank all of my patrons. Again, Axel was the one that suggested this album. He suggested it way back in the summertime, so apologies, Axel, that I didn't get it out sooner. But yes, Axel was the one that had suggested this album. He also has an album review coming out or suggested that I do an album review. So I'll be getting to that probably in November, along with all the backdated album reviews that I need to do. Along with that, I need to thank Matthew, Aiden, Andreas, Austin, making sure that you're in there, Austin Brown, Isaac, Jeffrey, Rick, Kevin, Ted, Bryson, Hemulin, Chris, Joggin and Chum, GRV Rush 2112, who I believe I saw there in the chat, Joseph, Charles, Brian, Mark Foy, who I will pump his album one more time for The Lonely Swing. Go check it out. It is on Spotify, unlike the album that we just listened to. Brian and Kevin. So thank you to all of my patrons for donating. Really, really do appreciate it. It's helping me out a lot. And if you want to donate and be awesome like these guys and have your name in the credits, I've left the link down below, I believe. And if not, well, you can find it on all of my videos. And yeah, you'll get a live stream if you donate, I believe, up to $3 or $5. And then album reviews. And I think I'll start doing the album reviews in chunks, kind of like quickies, just to help me get through them and relieve the pressure, because I think I've put too much pressure on these guys, and that's why I haven't really been doing any of them, because I want to make sure that they're perfect, and I'm not a perfect guy, so yeah. But no, thank you very much, Axel, for donating and being a part and suggesting this album, because that was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with this one. Because, yeah, the last couple of album reviews that I've had, or at least these live streams, they've kind of turned into a Q&A, so it was good that I was actually able to talk about the music this time a little bit through. So, yeah, thank you all so much, and thank you again to Izoi Monty for actually donating in the super chat. That was amazing. Thank you. I didn't actually expect anybody to do that, but thank you very much. That's amazing. Okay, and I'm going to call it an evening. So until the next one, I hope to do another one next week. Maybe I'll have to kind of touch base. I might have plans. So yeah, but until next one, I hope everybody has a great evening, and everybody, keeps loving each other. And yeah, until the next one, notes out.